Yay! Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the free fall flirt challenge. And I'm here with the one and only Chelsea Rose, who I feel like everyone in my world knows. And if you don't, you need to know. She's my best friend and an amazing love coach. She's so good at what she does. Hello. Okay, cool. We know that this is working. I was kind of nervous because we're using a different app to go live on YouTube, you guys, but I see you guys are on here. Hello. And thanks for being here, Chels.
Thank you so much for having me. I love you and I love your whole audience. And I got to be a part of the last challenge and it was like a highlight of the year. And so I'm so excited to be here with you
today. It was so cool. Now that I think about it, because Chelsea and I recently, you guys, we just did a live event in Sedona. And one of the girls, or some of them, were from this challenge. That had done this challenge, which is so cool. Then we got to meet maybe we'll meet some of you guys in person. So today is day one of your fall. I keep wanting to say it's like a tongue twister, fall flirt challenge. Is there a way? Okay, if you guys comment, we'll see it, I believe. So someone comment. I want to make sure that we're able to see it. And we're here to support you. We're going to talk about the tool of the day to help your dream man discover you. And we're going to also here to support you with any questions, any comments, any celebrations, any challenges. That's what these lives are for. So the tool of today is, or the practice of today is one of the most important. And hi, Amy. Okay, great. It's working. Everyone, hello. You guys, now that we know the comments are working, right where you're from, we're so curious. We want to know where in the world you are right now. Cool. Hello, everyone. So and I'm curious since today's practice, whether you read the email or not yet, is you're going to write a letter to your man as if you're already with him 1 year from now. So you're writing that in present tense. The reason that you want to do it in present tense, which is so important, is because it brings you into a state of gratitude and appreciation and shifts your emotional state, which we'll get more into that. But if you've done this exercise, amazing. Do it again. This is do it again and again. This is one of the most, I do this every single morning for my business, for my relationships, because I found it to be the most powerful practice. So I have different ways of doing it. And I love this way, the writing of the letter. So if that's the exercise, whether you read it or not yet, that's your practice for today. If you've already done it, put a 1 in the box. And if not, and you're excited to do it today, give us a 2 in the box. And and Chelsea, any comments off that?
Yeah, I love.
Oh yeah, just cut out for a second. There you go.
Yeah, this is one of my. I love everything in the challenge, but especially this practice is so important to me because same here. Like I've done versions of this for myself, and that's how I feel I've attracted my dream man, dream relationship, my success in my business that I created out of nothing. For you to get into the feeling of what you want already being here is one of the most challenging things to do. Because it requires that you silence that logical mind, and it requires that you go fully into your imagination. For some of us, that's really maybe our superpower, but for others, we've been so indoctrinated, and blocked from that dreamer part of us. Yeah. But it's almost like your inner child, that inner visionary part of you that gets to come out and have the courage to dream. This is what I was feeling into this morning when I was thinking about this. Is it's easy to be oh, it's too hard for me to imagine because I've never had it. My mind is blank. And I think while that is relatable and there's a level of truth to that, I think for a lot of us, I think that that's also a protection mechanism, because for you to go and really feel what it's going to feel like to have what you want, it takes a lot of courage, because then you have to be with how far away you might feel you are from that right now. You have to be with the fear of it maybe not happening for you. And you have to be with how whoa, I'm settling here, right? So that's what was coming up for me today. But I do want to just emphasize that to me, this is one of the most important, basic law of attraction tools that if you're not using, then you're kind of relying off of more having to do a lot of things, whereas this makes you timeline hop, or this this kind of cuts out a lot of the doing. I'm trying to think of the right word for that. you don't have to do so much work to get to where you want when you can really spend more time in this space of actually just embodying the energy of already having it. And we talk a lot about this in this industry, right? And I've had so many clients and people I've worked with that are like, oh yeah, I know that. And I'm like, are you doing it though? It's so easy to know, like, oh yeah, act as if it's here. But to really sit down, close your eyes, and go into the emotion of it is a discipline. And like I said, there's a sneaky way that our ego tries to like hide from this practice. So it's so important, and it will speed up the timeline for calling in this relationship if you really do it.
Yeah.
You guys are brave, right? This is the brave community. So be brave and do it.
Yeah. I love that you mentioned how we can know it, but then to actually do it and to actually practice it is so powerful and so important. And that you stop your clients and people you work with and say, hey, no, are you actually doing it? And what's so beautiful about what Chelsea's like honing in on, like you guys really shifting that emotional state to being open and available for it. And that's exactly what the letter will do, especially because you're writing it in present tense as if you're already in the relationship a year from now. And I like how she said, dream big, right? So letting yourself have unlimited thinking. So when you go, say you start to dream like this about your relationship, then we invite you to go like this. Like that's going to help you access that imagination. Like, whoa, we just got back from here and now we're doing this and blah, blah, blah. Like let yourself go that extra for, my alarm to make sure I'm here for you guys. So let yourself think unlimited is so powerful. And then yes, the discipline to do so, because we all have familiar emotions that we're familiar being in programs, paradigms that are familiar. And to pause and to do this, we're inviting you into the unfamiliar, into the unknown, which is where your man exists. Every single person listening to this has an incredible man who is looking for her. And you doing this work, because this work in particular is also hard work, you are opening up to him discovering you and you guys meeting each other. So when you also get into the senses, when you're doing the letter, you want to write down like what even smells, like you want to make it a very sensory experience. So what smell, taste, touch, right? And really like you're there. And something to go into as well, which Chelsea talked about, the timeline hopping, is how this is a lot easier than the doing. And what she's referring to is how the heart, right, that it has an energy that's indigenous to other energies, right? So Jonathan agrees. Jonathan, okay, you want to keep going with that? You want to go?
Yeah. Well, one thing that was coming to mind when you mentioned the heart piece is that our heart is our magnetism. Like it is the most magnetic. Rebecca and I were talking about this like just one-on-one recently. That your heart is, when it's open and when it's activated, which is what this challenge today is going to do, it is a magnet, right? So it is more powerful than all the things you could possibly be doing outside of this magnetism, right? This magnetism like trumps all that hard work that we feel we need to do to get to where we want to be. And that's how you hear these stories of like, yeah, I met him within 6 months and then we were married 9 months later. Like those crazy stories where like, that doesn't make any logical sense, right? You're like stepping out of the logic and the linear and into truth, which is like, there's no length of time that has to pass, no matter how far away you feel right now from what you want. Like time is just not even, like you transcend time when you tap into your magnetism in your heart. Yeah. Anyways, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, that's exactly. I love that you kept going with sharing that, because it's so powerful. And we're sharing this with you guys to anchor in the value of this exercise. It's literally what's crazy. It's going to take you 20, 30 minutes, right? And once you get going, you're like, I want to stay here and stay there. Like, how long can you let yourself be in that feeling?
Yes.
And how there's an invisible thread that connects us, right, with our heart. It's a portal into an invisible field that's all we're communicating with, right? So when we're open and we're tapping in and we're feeling and we're entering into that state of being, we're literally entering into that timeline where he can come into our life in a way that you least expect it. So even you can do this with anything. And it's always, you're always going to be surprised by it. Like that's the beauty of how, and then you're like, oh my gosh, this works. Holy moly. Like you don't want the magic to stop. So you keep doing it in different areas and different practices of your, or different elements of your life. So that's the value of doing this exercise and sitting down and really being like, oh, we just, you know, like you're going to speak to him from your heart and you're going to acknowledge him and you're going to see him and you're going to be, you're just becoming so grateful for him. And then what's also so beautiful is as you, because you will enter into that place of gratitude and faith and knowing that your incredible man is out there. Then as you date and as you flirt, it also increases your magnetism because you have that full faith. You're not desperate. You're not in lack. You're not in those things that have you want to also chase like the man who's not showing up. Like all these other problems that happen can actually be solved with this. So if you want to speak to that too, Chelsea, I think it'd be powerful.
Oh, I love that. It's so true because the more time, so like consistently getting yourself back into this space of vision and like that. I love how you said using all your senses, it feels so real, right? It's like the more real it feels for you and the less of like this far off fantasy it feels. So that's where I feel like that faith comes from, is like you've created this world within yourself. It might not be here yet in the 3D in the physical in your life, but it is here. And it's literally only a matter of like time before it drops in. But it's like the more time, if you don't spend time feeling what it feels like to have what you want, then it's easy to date down, right? It's easy to scroll because you're like, it's almost like you have blinders on from your true vision and you're consciously, purposefully disconnecting from it when you don't prioritize things like this. So I love that you said the faith just follows really easily from this, and we can't have what we want without the faith. So I love that. Oh, go ahead. There's one more thing I was thinking of earlier when you were talking about the invisible heartstrings. I feel like a lot of us have heard this, but I love this example of like when you're picking how you want to feel, right? And you're like you're consciously creating that kind of relationship and how you want to feel in that relationship with this beautiful man, right? You're tuning yourself to like a radio station, and it's just like radio, right? Like you can't hear a certain station unless you tune yourself to it. So by doing that, like now you're a receiver of that frequency, and like that's really what you're available for now. It's like such a simple like visual, but it's like it lands for me every time, and it really is that easy, you know?
Yeah. It's beautiful because and you guys, anyone who has questions as Chelsea and I are talking, please share. We're so excited for you. And one thing that I also love for everyone to share is one word of how they want to feel in their dream relationship, right? Because feelings are the language of the heart. So how do you want to feel in your dream relationship? And full disclosure, you guys, I used to date like in my early 20s. I would date men based on what I thought I needed to look like. Disaster. And I hear some people do that too as well when they're creating lists or saying things. I'm like, girl, like, you know, you want to know, get into what do you want to feel like when you're with him? What do you want the experience to be? And hello, everyone else hopping on. We're so happy to have you here. So everyone share, drop in there, like, how do you want to feel? One word, just like, is it adored? Is it safe? Is it playful? Is it sexy? Is it easy? Like, how do you want to feel when you're with him? And then that make sure that when you're doing that safe, Madeline said safe.
Oh,
Arabia, I hope I'm saying your name right. You said safe, secure, and connected. This is beautiful. So make sure that you're focusing on the feelings as well in it. And what Chelsea and I are talking about, you guys, is literally like the quantum model of reality. So we are so, like, for thousands of years, for our lifetime, our parents' lifetime, our grandparents' lifetime, we've been taught, you know, like the 3D model of reality, move a material thing, go do this, be in the right place at the right time, like go outside externally to try and create blah, blah, blah. So this is like there's all this conditioning that's on an unconscious level that's there, that's also on a conscious level, that we're inviting you to actually just pause and the best way to do that is to just let this be an experiment. Like, what if you are the divine, and by you resting in that sweet, beautiful heart space and being grateful for your dream relationship with a wonderful man who just adores you so much and loves you for you was going to be manifested and come into your life through you being grateful for him in your heart. And expanding that gratitude and going into that moment and just letting it come over your being and just shifting or coming into that state, because you're creating your own energy field always. And when you come into that state, it is the only place in which that amazing man can come into your life, right? And I say amazing man because I know a lot of you can go out and attract any type of guy right now, but we're not going for any type of guy, right? Nikki said happy. Jody asked how to have faith. How do you have faith that it will happen?
I have an idea, and we have the time for it.
Yeah.
There were two things I was thinking of, but got kind of doing like a guided thing. Okay, cool. Like I was totally understand that that's not the right time for it. But it felt good to me to offer that, both for if you're finding it challenging to like get into this state because you have a lot of like fear and programs going off, even writing that letter and you're getting in your head, out of the feeling, whatever, it can be helpful just to be guided into, because the desire for what you want it's in your heart, right? And so when you're guided into kind of like a relaxed state and like listening to the sound of my voice, there's a power to that. Then the vision can start to come out once you relax that logical mind. Sometimes it's nice to have someone guide you into that. And also that's where you'll find that there is a part of you that has faith, and I can have them tap like that visualization that you've been part of, Rebecca. Does that sound good?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go get into it.
Like a quick, maybe 7 minutes.
Totally. This is like the most valuable thing I think we can honestly be doing right now.
I'm so happy this is just like unplanned and happening. Okay, so everybody close your eyes. And just take a really nice deep breath, a full breath. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth with a really lovely sigh. And do that a couple more times at your own pace. Just thanking yourself for being here, thanking yourself for having the courage to dream, the courage to reach for more, and to listen to the desires of your heart. Breathing into that space, placing your hands on your heart if that feels comfortable, or on your belly. And just bringing your attention and your focus now, dropping it below your head, below your neck, and into the center of your heart. And I want you to imagine like there's a beautiful little like bonfire in the center of your heart. And you're in this beautiful like kind of cavern or like cave-like space. And it's just cozy and quiet and warm. And you're just watching this light flickering now. And just continue to sink deeper and deeper into relaxation right now and into a space of safety and being held. And starting to just kind of let your logical linear mind drift now. The center of your heart. And we're going to just allow this heart space to have a voice. You're going to just allow the voice of your heart to speak to you internally. What do I want? Just let your heart answer that question. Receive whatever comes through, whether it's words or feelings or visuals that come to mind. What do I want? I want you to imagine that dream relationship, that dream man. And you're not in your head, you're in your heart and you're feeling what it feels like to be touched by him, to be loved by him, to be cherished by him, to be supported by him. How does it feel to be with this holy, sacred, divine, masculine man? To have him lead you, to have him support you, protect you, love you, and just focus on how it feels in your heart center, in your chest, in your body. And just take a few nice long deep breaths into that space. Letting your heart expand and just allowing any other sensations, even if it's fear or tightness, whatever's coming up is totally okay and valid. Just allow yourself to be guided into that vision. How good can you let it get? How good can you let it feel? How much love can you allow in? And now I want you to acknowledge where maybe you don't fully believe yet in this vision, and that's okay. But also acknowledge where you do believe that you can have this. And maybe it's 1% of you that believes that this is possible. I want you to notice where in your body do you feel that knowing that, yes, this is what I came for. Yes, this man is out there. Yes, I get to have this. Again, even if it's a tiny, tiny part of you, that's okay. Just notice where you feel that in your body. Maybe it's in your crown chakra. Maybe it's in your heart. Maybe it's on your back. Maybe there's a feeling of like you have the chills. Or maybe it's in your belly. It's like a gut feeling. Just notice where that little ounce of faith lies in your body. And I want you to bring your full attention into that space. Notice if it has a color, if that energy of faith has a color or a texture. And I want you now to expand that. So you can assign it a color if it didn't already reveal a color to you. So maybe it's pink or blue or gold or white. And so just imagine that faith and that knowing is this beautiful color, and imagine it expanding bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where you are engulfed, and it's just your whole aura is filled with this energy of knowing and peace and faith in this vision. And just allow like every cell to just open up, to be like a sponge to this energy right now. Allow yourself just to be bathed in this energy of trust, in this energy of faith. With every breath, see how much more you can receive from this energy now. And I'm getting this visual now that I want to share. So imagine that there's this almost like rain, but it's like the softest rain above you. It's this like little droplets of white golden light just falling from the skies, from the heavens onto your head. And it's just dripping down you. And it's just little kisses from the universe, kisses from the divine, supporting you in this vision and in this knowing. And just allow yourself to receive this light bath now, like a shower head above you. And now letting all of this light and this energy just pooling. I think I might have just cut out. So you're letting that energy just pool into your heart center and swirling in this space, giving you all you need to move forward, giving you all you need to believe in this vision, to have the courage to keep fighting for that vision, fighting against the fear and the limitations. Placing your one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, and just taking one final deep breath. And offering you guys just the affirmation or the mantra that I know. And just letting that kind of echo inside you. And taking your time whenever you're ready to kind of gently come back. Thanks for trusting me to guide you through that, you guys. It's always a journey. Surprise to me what's going to happen. I hope you guys could hear me okay. How was that? How was that?
That was so beautiful. My color was yellow.
Your color was yellow. Oh, that's so you. I love it. How did
Every,
that? Mhm.
but yeah, everyone's sharing too. How did that feel for everyone? Yeah, it's like you're mellow, you can feel it's like you just calm down and you come right here, which is the only place that we can create from, right?
So you guys can re-listen to this before you do the letter too, if you guys are needing that extra support, or just do it right after this.
Yeah.
Kristen says her color was pink.
Ah.
I saw Kate right during the meditation. She said peaceful.
Mm.
Um, do you want to read the other comments?
Yeah, Allie asked, oh, I think I can put them on show. She said, does the inner work need to be done prior to dating? That's a great question. Are you saying yes, Chelsea?
Well, there's like two pieces to that. It's like I think that sometimes we can be like, oh, until I'm fully healed, I can't date, right? Like until I'm perfect and like everything is sorted and I'm never triggered. Like I want to kind of define what I mean by inner work. So my first response to that is yes, we get to do the inner work. This is an example of the inner work, though,
Yeah.
right? It doesn't mean you're never going to have fear come up. It doesn't mean you don't get to work through that while you're dating and even with your ideal partner.
Yeah.
So it's like a both and. It's like, yes, you get to do the inner work to change your reality so that you change who you attract and you make yourself available for what you want. That's what the inner work is about. But be careful not to let like, oh, I have so much work to do, I can't date. Be careful not to let that block you from moving forward because that's a sneaky way our ego can kind of hijack us.
Yeah.
I'm curious what your thoughts are on this.
I'm so happy you touched on that. Like our ego can be sneaky to like try and hijack and like we can avoid intimacy when in partnership, there's automatically going to be a beautiful opportunity for work because you're going to have a constant mirror.
Yes.
Right. So there's certain things that you literally most likely wouldn't access like you would in a partnership. So, and that's not to put the weight or the work that needs to be done only when you're in partnership. And with asking that question, Allie, I would look at, it's important that you want to make sure, or you want to ask, what am I thinking that doing more inner work would provide for me? And I would ask that question now and make that a journey now of like, how can I create this? Or what's blocking? What's the resistance or the inner child or shadow stuff that's like not allowing me to access or have this so I can cultivate this now because it's the partnership is not going to source that for you, you know? So the partnership's going to be beautiful amplifier and a mirror, and there's going to be so much beauty and growth that you'll do inside of your conscious relationship as you manifest this incredible partner. And it's also it's also important that in that question I would ask, you know, what is it that I'm also, where can I grow? Like, what else do I want to access and touch upon within me? And ask that question and continue to do that as well.
I love that, Rebecca. Beautiful.
Yeah. And she shared all my energetic barriers melted. I started to cry. That's beautiful, babe. That's so powerful.
I'm so happy to hear that. I'm reading the comments too. And Monica had a question that I thought was
I missed it. Oh, I missed it.
Yeah. So I have faith that I'll meet the one for me, but every time I meet someone Every time I meet someone super surprisingly, my mind is like, this could be him. And then I'm totally focused on the idea. I'm not myself anymore. Who can relate to this?
Yeah, that's good.
I've had so many clients like get trapped into this kind of like hamster wheel of like every new guy they meet, every first date, they're like, is this the one? Is this the one? And that is like another way that our ego sabotages, right? Because then you're not even here anymore. You're just like caught in this, you're just obsessed with the idea and a way to like try to control, right? And like, of course we want to know that, but this is what I say to that. And I think I understand your question, Monica. And if not, you can feel free to ask another one. But what I say to that is, there's no way, like take that pressure off of yourself and off of this guy. There's no way you can know that. Maybe some people say like, oh, I knew right away, but it's not like they got engaged that day. It's like time has to pass. You have to see how you feel consistently over time with this person, how this person makes you feel. Like there's so many things that have to happen that organically will lead you to that knowing, to the answer to that question. So you never need to force clarity. Clarity comes so long as you're staying connected to yourself and you're being present. Clarity is not something you can force. Clarity comes organically, and you'll never be in a place where like you don't know that answer when you really do need to know. Like by the time you really need to know that the answer to that question, it will be made clear, So that's my short version of that answer. Did that make sense?
Yeah, I think that's great. And when I hear, and Monica, thank you for sharing this. And anyone else, if you guys have things and you're like, oh, I don't want to ask because no one probably has that question, like ask. Because sure, if anyone can relate to Monica, give us a 3 in the comments. A mentor of mine told me this and it stuck with me. I think you're really gonna like Monica. Whenever you feel like you're not yourself, there's some sort of attachment that's happening, right? So you're thinking like, I have to source I can only source what I'm needing from, I'm saying these are people, right? From this man, right? So if all of a sudden you start pretzeling, you start not being authentic, you start blah, 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 or start shifting, or you're in your head, and you're like, there's some unconscious thing that's going on. Oh my gosh, like I have to mold in order for this thing to stay here. So there's some illusion, there's some attachment where there's some like sourcing of your own power, authenticity, right? Outside of you. So the beautiful thing is in recognizing that when you're like, wow, like what is that? And dive into that. What's having me feel like I can't be myself? Because even if it's not the one, right? Or it is the one, right? There's an opportunity for you here to ask that and then go into, whoa, what would it be like to be free of that? Right? Everyone can relate to you. Victoria can relate to you. Maria can relate to you. And someone's asking, and Monica, let me know what opens up for you as I shared that. She said, can I use this to get things back with my ex? We were really great together, but my negativity and fear of losing him literally got me manifested into it reality. Please tell me. Aww. I want Mod Humida. I hope I'm saying your name right. I hope that I said your name right. And I'll share, and then Chelsea, if you want to share anything on that. I think I actually talked about this in a post at one point. And what's so beautiful is in my invitation is to fully accept the present moment, because I'm imagining that there's some feelings, there's different things that are coming up, and the acceptance piece is so important. And knowing that no matter what, even if you did sabotage, right? No matter what, it's medicine. Like no matter what, it's just how it's supposed to be. So it's just how it's supposed to be. And we don't, like the work that we teach, it's never to get a specific person. The moment we make it about a specific person, there's still an unconscious belief that they're the carrier of the thing that we want, and that we can only get it there. And we're in separation because you're the divine. Like whatever it is, so whatever it is that you're wanting, I get that there is this desire for that thing because there's an attachment and history and everything. But my invitation for you is, as you do this challenge, to set a strong intention to create the relationship of your dreams. And can there be a potential possibility that it's with your ex? Absolutely. But that's not the focus, and that's not the hope, and that's not that can be there, but we're really wanting you to come into this heart space of focusing on the relationship of your dreams and how it feels like, without being attached to the material. Because if you're attached to it being him, you're still in the 3D, you're still in the material. So you want to think about what opens up for you, girlfriend, when you let go of that. Oh my gosh, this makes me so excited. When you let go of that and you're like, I'm willing to believe that whatever it is that I'm wanting and desiring is going to come to me in a way that I least expect it, and it's going to be even better than I could have imagined. That's what Chelsea and I are stand for you for.
Yes. Yeah. It's kind of similar to the last question too. I love everything you said, by the way, Rebecca.
Yeah.
Similar to this concept of like the one, right? And where we just cut ourselves off from our magnetism, when we're kind of either obsessed about that question or we feel like I found the one and I messed it up. Like there's just, we cut ourselves off from, that space of, like you said, of like trusting and knowing that even if I made mistakes, I'm exactly where I need to be. And there's a gift to these mistakes. And I also think that like, if let's say that is the guy that you're meant to be with, it's all going to work out, right? Yeah. There's not a whole lot of like doing we need to do, right? Going back to that concept of like magnetism and flow, it's like what's meant for you can't miss you kind of thing is really helpful to remember. So if it's for your highest good to be with this guy, then you guys will find your way back to each other. But it is kind of crazy making when we're attached and trying to force. But I totally feel your pain with like when you're still in love with someone and you have that attachment and you have, that vision with that person. But even if you can surrender him a little bit, like it'll just inch you towards surrendering him all the way. Because that's the only way you would ever theoretically get back together is if you were fully surrendered about him.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. And I can relate to this so much. Chelsea knows this.
You give me like a smile. I'm like, I'm not talking about you.
Having going through a breakup, and it's like, it's so funny how like you can wish or want, it's like there's so much history and familiarity. Oh, we lost Chelsea for a second. She's frozen. And what's beautiful though, think about wanting freedom, right? And being committed to creating freedom. Is Chelsea the only one frozen? I want to make sure you guys can hear me. Will someone comment a 4 if you can hear me? I want to make sure that, hopefully we get her back. Comment a 4 if you can hear me. I want to make sure that it's working well. And that there's an opportunity for you to come into your sovereignty here. Okay, cool. You guys can all hear me. Because I went through this where it was like, I was like, all I want is, cause we lost her. She'll come back. Cause you miss that person and you love them and there's so much there, and then you feel like the soul connection and all of the things. And I love that Chelsea hit the nail on the head when she said, what's meant to be won't pass you by. And I'm assuming there's a reason that you broke up. So there's a gift in this. And what I, always come back to is that to create freedom and to see medicine in everything and seeing everything as this is the best thing that's happening for me. No matter what that is, right? So this is the best thing that's happening for me. And there's medicine in this. And creating freedom and a healthy, I'm curious, Humana, number 1, were you fully happy in the relationship? And number 2, what would make it amazing, right? So, and this isn't to ask the question to get back with that person. There's an opportunity, there's growth here for you, right? So as these souls, right? We were all these souls and we come together and we do this dance together and it's all a bouncing of energy and we're learning about ourselves. We're learning about each other. We're mirroring things to each other, right? And then if you go like this, right, if you're still trying to cling on to that soul or you're still trying to pull them back in from any place of scarcity, any place of, like I'm saying this because I know you're wanting to do this to get him back. So I'm wanting to support you in relinquishing that and coming into this powerful place of knowing that if that was the right person for you, right, it would naturally happen. It would naturally happen and be even more beautiful than you anticipated, right? So I'm so happy you guys can hear me. And if this is making a difference for you, please give me a 5, because there's so much that I want to share with you guys without being too personal, because I'm wanting to continue to honor the privacy of my ex, but one thing that I just want to touch upon is that everything happens for a reason and there's medicine in everything. And this is all preparing you for an even better, healthier, more balanced dynamic. And if it's supposed to be your ex, that will be manifested. And if not, something way more better will be manifested. So continuing to do this work, I'm so happy it's making a difference. Do the fall flirt challenge, do every tool that we're giving you. And from a place of I want to create and manifest an incredibly beautiful partnership. And I want to be that woman and I want to manifest that man or partner. Okay. She said, thanks, Rebecca. You opened my eyes. I just need to operate from my divine energy, not think about the future. Yes. All of you guys are divine. Like, you are the divine. What? And while we're waiting on Chelsea, which she might have texted me, let's see. Oh, her why. I'm going to share with you guys how to win the challenge. Okay, so I'm so happy you guys are here. Every single day, I'm going to be giving away a free gift. This one is going to be the one that we're going to give away today. Well, I'm going to announce the winner tomorrow, but it's going to be from today's challenge, and that's the Smart Guidance. It's beautiful too. I created the whole thing actually on my birthday. I was having so much fun with it, and it's going to support you in a step-by-step dating smart guide so you don't waste your time. It's $100 value. It's a great guide, and in order to win that, what you need to do in order to actually win any of the prizes, which we're giving away a prize every single day, we are giving away $3,300 in prizes. And that is, in order to win, there's Chelsea. You're gonna invite her in, add to stream. Hi, babe.
I was like watching you on my phone while I was waiting for my internet.
Oh, that's okay. I was teaching them how to win. So you're going to go into the Facebook group and you're going to post that you did the challenge for today. So you're going to say, okay, I did the challenge. And what you can share a selfie or a picture of anything and what opened up for you. So you're going to share that you did the tool of the day. You're going to post it inside the Facebook group. And in order to be eligible for every single day, you need to go in there and post every single day. So this is our way to hold you accountable to do all 4 days, literally setting aside 20 minutes to do each one, and it's going to change your life. So let the opportunity to win these really cool prizes also hold you accountable, and to know that there's a method to our madness. And we're giving away, I'll announce the winner from today, tomorrow morning. And then one other announcement that I didn't want to forget to mention. Chelsea is like ghosting us, you guys. Andrea is in the Facebook group supporting you. So she is our support coach. If you have any questions throughout the day, you need coaching, you need feedback, you need help, Andrea is going to be there to support you. And she's also going live inside the Facebook group tomorrow at 1 p.m. my time. So that's Central Time. So that's going to be 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. So set your alarm. You can go on the Facebook group. She's going to be there to support you. I'm just like bringing in Chelsea's going to be with me every day. We've got Andrea. We're here to support you. You're like surrounded by powerful women who are cheering you on. Like, your man is orbiting in your field. He is orbiting, and you are tuning the timeline. You're opening up the potential, and you are accessing the timeline for him to come into your experience through each tool that we do. And I'm pointing to the heart because that's what we're doing today. And then if you have any questions around that, please ask. And then another thing I want to share with you, if you have seen or haven't seen our Brave Live experience reel, we have a Brave Live experience in person coming up December 2nd through the 5th in Austin, Texas. Chelsea and I will be there with you in person, guiding you in person to help you and to be a mirror for you, to remove any blind spots, anything in the unconscious that is consistently running the show, so you can come into the driver's seat and you can manifest an incredible partner. It's 3 days. It's literally an unforgettable weekend. Like, every single woman, we just did one in Sedona, was like, they're still on cloud 9. We had so many people manifest partners. We had so many people quit their jobs. Like, everyone had made a huge life change because they came to the event and they realized what was really in alignment for them. And it's like one of the most freeing things to come into, to recognize and to see things that maybe we weren't looking at before because we were scared, right? So that's the braveliveexperience.com. And I would love to see you guys in person. We still have seats available. The price is going to go up. So grab your ticket. I highly encourage you guys to come to that. I would love to see you in person. I know Chelsea would too. We do lots of the guided meditations we do something that I designed called Out in the World Challenges, which if you follow me on Instagram, I'm sure you've seen some of them, but I will connect with you. I will connect with your heart, and I will ask you questions and identify anything that is currently showing up in your life and impacting your life in a way that is taking energy, or in a way that is not in full alignment for you, right? Which maybe that's your job. Maybe that's, your co-working dynamics. Maybe that's a relationship. Maybe that's you not owning your voice and not setting boundaries. Maybe that's you setting too many boundaries, having rigid boundaries, and not softening and coming into your feminine. Whatever that is for you, I'm going to help discover that. And we are going to invite you and give you a challenge to step into that. Because when I give you this challenge specific for you in person, and you're guided and you're so held and you're so supported, you upgrade into another woman in that moment. You have to, because to do the thing, it literally calls upon another version of you that exists in the field. You're just stepping into it because now you have the container to do so. So that's the Brave Live experience. I would love for you to come. It's Austin, Texas, December 2nd to the 5th. You can copy and paste the link to check it out. And I know Chelsea's probably missing us right now. She's probably having so much. Okay. I love you guys so much. And remember Andrea's going to be live. We're going to be live tomorrow morning. Andrea's going to be live tomorrow at 1 Central. Do this exercise, set time aside. Do it right now if you can. Don't put it off. Do it. Prioritize every single challenge, every single tool, and this will make a huge difference for you. And I love you guys so much. I'm so proud of you. Remember, this is powerful. We've been so conditioned. Our heart is powerful. So conditioned out of our heart and out of our bodies because of the power you each hold. And I'm just reminding you, that's it. So let yourself play in this space, okay? And have an amazing, incredible day. We are cheering you on so much. Mwah!